best known traditional French cheese-based dishes, and as well it's quite winter dish, and it's very nice now with the cold weather coming. Have a nice night in, having tartiflette, a nice bottle of white wine, bit of salad, and the job is done. Just a bit of the history about the tartiflette himself. The tartiflette actually is a quite new dish. It's come around 30-40 years ago. It was a very poor dish for peasant, and the producer Reblochon, they thought why don't add some potato and bacon to upsell the Reblochon himself. After they created the tartiflette, we are using the Reblochon. The Reblochon is quite rich, quite strong and intense aroma, but at the same time it's got a very creamy and smooth flavor. It's quite pungent, but after taste it's quite delicate. This one is unpasteurized cheese, cow's milk, made by Monsieur Paccard. Monsieur Paccard collects all the Reblochon from the small producer, and he start to affiner himself all this Reblochon. And after, as Androuet, because we are a cheese affiner, we mature this Reblochon in our cave in Old Spitalfields market for around 6-8 weeks. And we're gonna start to prepare the dish himself. First things, we're gonna use some potato. That is gonna be the base. Usually it's better always to use no really floury potato. It's better like a waxy, because during the cooking they're gonna keep the shape and not gonna start to smash. We're gonna take some potato, start to peel. I choose as a potato, this one are Maris Piper potato, or you can use as well some Cyprus. They are good variety of potato. They keep in the shape and hold the cooking very well. Once we peel the potato, we're gonna just wash, and we're gonna start to cut in around 5 millimeter. This is more or less the size, but after it's up to your taste if you like thicker, thinner. But I suggest this one because during the time you're gonna still have the crunchiness of the potato, and under your bite you don't get this big piece of potato. This potato we're gonna start to cook in some water, boiling water, with a pinch of salt, a bay leaves, and I will put some thyme, and a crush of garlic. This one I will suggest just to give to the potato itself little bit extra flavor. And you can leave even the cloves garlic whole inside, because you just need to release the flavor. Done this, the potato they are cooking will take around 10 minutes from boiling startup point. And now we're gonna crack on with the bacon. I use a very good quality bacon. You can ask to your butcher to give you like a big piece. This is a streaky English dry cure smoked bacon. It's from Yorkshire. And we're gonna cut the bacon around 1 centimeter thick. We're gonna remove the rind. And we're gonna cut the bacon around 1 centimeter thick. As you can see, the tartiflette is very easy and contains very few dish. But the important things of the tartiflette itself is to have a very good quality ingredients, as from the Reblochon, as the potato, and the bacon itself. Try to buy a dry cure bacon because if you really buy like the cheap version, once you start to cook, it's gonna release a lot of water, and the flavor of itself of the bacon is not fantastic. If you cannot really find this kind of bacon from your butcher or from your supermarket, you can use some pancetta, Italian pancetta. And as well, once we chop the bacon, we're going to blanch the bacon few seconds, not much. This one will prevent to release too much salt during the dish. Already prepared some more before. Okay, the bacon and the potato, they are cooking. Now we're going on the base of the tartiflette itself. For the tartiflette, we're gonna use a nice onion, white onion. We're gonna remove the skin. And this one we're gonna finally chop. And with the onion, very important on like all the French dish, garlic. Now, as a garlic, some people maybe they feel oh, it's too heavy, it's too strong. If you don't really fancy have a bits of garlic, you just crush your cloves, and once they release all the flavor on the dish, you can remove. Like this, if you have problem with the digestion, it's easy to digest, but at the same time, it gives this kind of pungent flavor to the dish that is quite very important for the tartiflette itself. Okay, once the bacon is blanched for a few seconds, we're gonna remove. This one will prevent now during the cooking to have a very salt dish. Because especially when we work with cheese, we need to think that already the cheese contains quite a high amount of salt, and that's why we need to balance the base. In a pan, we're gonna keep a nice hot pan. We're gonna add some vegetable oil. Doesn't need to be olive oil, otherwise it's gonna give too strong flavor. The vegetable oil really needs to just help the bacon to get crispy. We're gonna add our bacon. In the meantime, the bacon is cooking. Our potato, it took around 8 minutes, they are done. Now, it's important that the potato, we don't leave too much to cook. They need to be crunchy. You can see when they are cooked. Just if you take a potato, it's gonna break itself. Okay? This is important as well because we don't need to do like a kind of mash on the base. But what I really would like is nice piece of potato, bit of crunchiness. On here we have this nice smoky flavor coming from the bacon. Really like, I think like all the French dish, it's have really few good ingredients, very few precise steps. But at the end, we're gonna have a very good result. Okay, once the bacon is almost given nice color, we can add our onion and garlic. And we're gonna keep stirring. We can add 2 bay leaves. Now it's important sometimes, especially when we cook with onion, to add the bay leaves. This is because the bay leaves contains an enzyme that helps to digest the onion. That's why every time we do sauté onion soup, or just a casserole, we put the bay leaves, because our bay leaves has got digesting properties, really help to break down the enzyme of the onion, and really help us to digest the onion itself. Now, once the mix, all the ingredients start go together, we're gonna add a knob of butter. It's around 50 grams, 30 grams. And now the butter is gonna go and combine all the ingredients together. It's very important when we do any kind of sauté dishes to add the butter at the middle of the cooking, because if we put at the beginning with the vegetable oil, we're gonna have a burn butter because it doesn't keep the heat. But during the cooking, it just like melt together.
Can I ask something?
Yes.
And also, should we use fresh or dried bay leaves?
You can use both of them. It's really like the fresh, they have a little bit more stronger flavor. The dry a little bit less. This one they are fresh, but you can use the dry one. There is no problem. Naturally, nowadays it's easier to have at home some dry herbs, but as bay leaves really doesn't really matter the big difference. But for example, parsley, chives, yes, it needs to be fresh, because dry parsley or dry chive and dry basil doesn't really make sense. We can see all the mix is coming back together. We're gonna remove our garlic, otherwise it will be a little bit too heavy. This way, we're gonna have a little bit of high, and at the same time when we're gonna pour inside the sauce you can go all around the dish and cover all the potato. Okay, here is the dish base. Now we're gonna finish up the sauce. We have onion, garlic, bacon, little bit of butter, and we're gonna add now the flour. The flour will be help to bond all the ingredients together. We don't really need too much, just 1 spoon. But it's important every time that we put some flour inside, it's important to cook the flour. Otherwise, once we're gonna eat, we're gonna give like a bit of floury texture. And if it's like at this sample, you can see some burnt bits, that one is all the best, because all that one gives the flavor, bit of the caramelize of the flavor on the dish. Now the flour is being cooked, and we're gonna use some white wine. For the cooking, any good dry white wine will be fit. The best is to use, of course, wine from the same region of Savoie. If not, any good white wine is okay. Now the sauce start to come out, and I'm gonna take some fresh thyme, just a little bit a pinch, because the fresh thyme is quite strong in itself, and I'm going to finally chop. And because, like I said before, it's not really a summer dish or light dish, we're gonna add some double cream. And with double cream, we finish the sauce. We're gonna leave like just to infuse the double cream 5-6 minutes, not too much. You need to just thicken up and cook the flour, and over there all the flavor that start to combine. The smoke of the bacon, the sweet from the caramelized onion, the butter, the thyme, the bay leaves. Gonna try. As because before we blanch the bacon, we don't need any salt at all. It's perfect. What needs a bit of pepper. And voila. This one is the result. I don't want a very thick sauce. I need a very creamy sauce. And this beauty we're gonna put now on top of my potatoes. And now we're gonna prepare our reblochon. And here we have our tartiflette. Now it needs to finish up a little bit longer. And we're gonna put our tartiflette in the oven for around 12-15 minutes. Yep. I prepare a little bit more for all you guys after to try. And this one is amazing. Just the smell that is coming through. Now, as a tartiflette, you can eat as it is. Wine, tartiflette, chicken.